Hello, this is Rebecca here, and today I'm back with a video to show you a creative journaling page using a tag, my journal, and then I also did a cut from a vintage pattern, and so I'm going to alter her to kind of fit with the theme of the journaling page. So I'm going to kind of run in stages, so just bear with me and I will kind of show you my creative process. So what I thought about doing was kind of doing a background and then having her as a little kind of like a little tip-in tag, you know, where you can kind of open her up like that. That's my thought process. So I think what I'm going to do is start with a background and then do the tag, and then I'll work on her, and that way those can start drying while I work on changing her up a little bit. So basically I think I'm just going to use some watercolor for my background, and then have that dry, and then use some acrylic paint as well. So let me pull my sleeves up here and let's go ahead and get started. So I think being that this is my October junk journal, I'm going to kind of go with some oranges to kind of go with this little junk piece or cardstock that I have in here as well. So I'm just going to come in here and I might do like some dripping down a little bit. So I'm going to get my paper towel here and move it over here like that. And then I'm just going to get a lot of water onto my paintbrush and get a good good paint thickness going, good watery. There you can kind of see it's really, I'm adding quite a bit of water just so I can make sure that it drips fairly well. And I'm just going to hold my page up here. Let me see if I can get my camera adjusted just a tad bit. You get to see the rest of my messy desk. And then I'm just going to kind of go at the top here, and I'm just kind of rolling my paintbrush a little bit and getting that drip to start. And I just kind of have played around with this, and this is kind of what works for me. And so I'm just going to run that just like that. And then I think I'm going to come in here with another color and just kind of come along the bottom here and do the same thing. Sometimes you have to tap your little journaling page just to get it to run down here just like that. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go with another darker orange. I'm kind of trying to fill the page up a little bit, and that way, if you see the blue on the tip of my journaling page, that was from one of the pages I did a while back, and it just kind of dripped over, which I'm fine with that too. I may add just a little bit more yellow. I'm not really looking for it to me, all of a sudden when I looked up at that, I thought it looked like kind of like blood dripping. I know that sounds kind of gross, but that's the thought I thought, and I don't really want that look. I may come in here and do a little bit more on the inside just because it doesn't have a whole lot. And I think the key is to have enough water on your paintbrush so that, of course, it's going to drip. There. Okay. So that's that. Like I said, I still kind of wanted a little bit more. I should have kind of pinned these pages down maybe a little bit. Let me see if I can add paper clip here. For some reason I just feel like I want to fill that up. Maybe it's just me not liking my white spaces. You know what I think would be kind of neat though? as if I did like a, kind of doing like a red. And then maybe, yeah, it's probably me just being phobic about those white spaces. And then I'm just going to come in here and do like just a off the wall green to fill in that bottom area there. Just gives it kind of a different funky texture look to it. Okay, so there I have it. It's just kind of a drippy type page. I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. Got my fan going on here. Let me move some stuff out of the way. If you could see my desk over here, it's easy to pick up, but it just seems like it gets messy. Okay, quickly. So next, I'm going to come in here and do the tag, and I'm going to do like a stencil on her. And since I did since I did the orange, I'm going to come in here and do like a turquoise. I'm kind of really liking the whole turquoise and orange. I'm actually finding myself using turquoise a lot, even in my house. I've noticed that with decorating, I've been using a lot of turquoise. I love it. Not typically a blue type person, but as far as adding it as little touches here and there, I'm really liking that look. So I'm just holding the stencil down and coming along here with the blue. Now with me and my experience with this particular stencil, I've used like it so much. It's one of my favorite ones that I'm going to see if I can move just the camera just a tiny bit there. That it's actually filled in the holes some. And that is a lot of paint. So I'm going to go with it, and we're going to hope it dries by the time I'm ready to use it. That is a lot of paint on there. You know what? I'm going to squish some of that off. It may mess up that stencil look, but who knows? Let's see what it creates. Oh no, I like that. Actually, I like that better, and it's not so thick with paint. So we're going to set this aside and let it dry. And then let's change our girl up. So I'm going to go ahead and add another napkin down just because I'm so messy. So, put the watercolors away. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of make her into like holding like a pumpkin, like your trick-or-treat but bag little pumpkin. So I think I'm going to go in here, and I wanted to change her little outfit up to where it was an orangey little outfit. And I'm just going to take a thin paint here and kind of just go over. Let me take my glasses off. I see better without my glasses. So I'm coming in here and just gonna paint over with her orange. Now you can still see the gingham underneath, but we're gonna work with that too. It's just kind of going over, taking the blue away. And now I've had a couple of things that I've been thinking about doing with her. I thought about adding like little antennas to make her, oops, I got her on her hand, to make her like a little, you know, like I have a pair of cute little, what do you call it, antenna headband with little bats on the end. They're really cute. And then I thought about, well, maybe I can put like a little witch's hat on her. So we're just going to see where the creativity takes me. Let's see here. See how simple? You can just kind of change your outfit up with a little bit of paint. She's so cute. And then, of course, me being the She's got to have some funky tights on. So I was thinking like some green tights. I'm thinking the more I'm thinking about it is the antennas I think would be really cute. So I'm going to come in here and give her some little fun little tights. Sometimes when I do create some of my art, I hear, don't you have a dress like that? Or that she looks just like what you would wear. And it's true. I like to make them look artsy and fun and whimsical. Okay. So we got our green tights on. Oops. I think what I'm going to do next is add some little. So I'm having a hard time finding a really good purple. If y'all know of any good acrylic purple that's dark, let's try this one. This is diazine purple. I'll show it to you. Can't really pronounce it, but it's kind of interesting. But let's see. I was having, what I was saying about the purple was it's not an opaque. It becomes kind of like all the purples that I seem to pick up are real transparent, and a lot of times I don't want. This one's pretty good. I want an opaque purple. Actually, this is really good. I guess it was hiding over in my little bin. But I know that with the lighter purples, which that makes sense, but sometimes I wish they would be a little bit more darker. So I'm just putting polka dots on her little leggings because they're just making her look so cute. She looks a little concerned, doesn't she? Okay. Are y'all getting a good visual on that? Let me show you. I'll bring her up a little bit. There she is. Okay. So, I know I need to color the collar a different color. I was actually thinking about doing like a black and seeing how that looks. And that way just kind of cover in those little sleeves. I'm having a hard time with this, getting the lace on there. Let's see here if I can make that a little better. I may just kind of have to do little scallops along there. To make it look, because they basically were little lace leaves, but this paintbrush is not very fine to do that. Her little Peter Pan collars. I'm gonna paint it black. And then I think I'm gonna do that trim since it's kind of having some issues. I'll show you the little sleeves. They didn't quite come out very well. But I don't think you're going to be able to tell too much once you get her all dressed up. And then I'm just going to add some little yellow onto her collar. There. Maybe add a little bit around here. Okay. There we go. Now she's looking cute. Okay, so, well, she was cute before, but you know what I mean. She's looking more of the season. And some funkiness. I'm going to color her little black Mary Janes too, so that they show up. And that's one thing I love. I think I probably have said this a lot on my videos. Anytime I work with these vintage little patterns, is anytime I see them when I'm out at thrift stores, or if I'm at a garage sale or anything like that, I pick them up because I just like, you can do so many things with them. And of course I make copies because I don't want to cut the original pattern up. For one, usually they're not that well shaped, but also because you can use them over and over again. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is kind of cut her a little trick-or-treat bucket. It has some orange. I'm just using some regular cardstock. And now with her, I could come in here, and if I found it really quickly, I could use a punch to make a perfectly round circle, but I think that I don't know where I mean, it's in my little bin, but I think it would be too difficult to dig around with and find. So I'm just gonna eyeball a circle here. Let's see how big that is to her. She's gonna want a lot of candy in there. So I'm just gonna break that down just a tad bit. Okay, and then I'm going to make some little handles for her to carry her pumpkin with. Let's see, did I nail it the first time? Let's look. Maybe too big for her. That is one. I don't know, I think it kind of adds to her little cuteness. I'm going to go with it. So, I'm going to take this and just kind of put it around the edging and glue those handles on. Kind of picked the wrong. Whoops. There we go. She's out to get some candy, some serious candy. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of orange to her. I like this brush. Oh no, look what I just did. I did a big old water drop. Man, that's not good. And I think it was black. Okay, we're going to start over. Take the handle off. Whoops. I'll just use this as a template since I know that the size was good. I was flinging my paintbrushes around and got it all. I'd go for it, but I want the pumpkin to be really orange, and that's one dark spot. So this will just take a second. I'm just going to cut another little pumpkin out. It looks kind of like, ended up looking like a lemon. Got edges on it, little points on the sides. There. Okay, let's try that. Actually, I think this one looks a little smaller, but that is okay. Let's see. Handle needs to be a little more taller. Need some glue on that side. How's that look? Good? Okay, we can go for it. Move her out of the way. And actually, since this is a bigger little project, I'm just going to come in here with a bigger paintbrush and go over that pumpkin. I thought that orange was just a little too fluorescent. Okay. Let's see here. So while that pumpkin's drying, whoops. I'm gonna move it to the side here. Golly, it keeps flipping over. Let's see how our tag is doing. Oh yeah, it's perfectly dry. So, still feel like I need to add some stuff in here. So let's think about what we can add. I'm going to look over here at some die cuts that I have and see if we can add some to it. To make it, I kind of was thinking about material, adding some material to the background or some something along those lines, but I found this little floral thing. Let's see, that's kind of pretty. So I'm going to do that. Just going to add a couple layers of some things on there. I almost think that's we need to color that background of that die cut. It's just too white, so I'm going to come in here and add, I think I'm going to do some yellow. Just to cover up some of that. It's just too, I think it's just too white for the background for her. It almost took away from what she looked like her image. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Yeah, I think that's better. And then we can come in here and add a couple of stamps. I have some of my little heart, my favorite little heart stamp over here. So we can add a little bit of, oops. You know, before I do that, I think I'm going to add, let's see what we got. Let's see. I'm thinking about adding just a little bit of different coloring along the side here. So I'm just going to look around for some papers that maybe we can use that will kind of add to it. I'm really kind of wanting to do some tissue paper. Maybe I'll do that because I want it to be kind of translucent where you can still see the turquoise underneath there. So let's do that. I'm just going to run a strip of glue down the side of that tag. And move her out of the way. Working myself off the desk here, which is normal, but that just means having fun. I'm getting that yellow paint all over me because I'm not waiting for it to dry. But I'm just going to trim off the excess here. And then I think I'm going to come in here and add a little bit more not the sea breeze, but a move some Gelatos. Let me see what we got here. Let me just come in here and kind of add a few. Just filling that tag space back there with some of these. These are some Gelatos. I've had these for a really long time. They are a favorite. But once I use them, a lot of times I want to come in here and do like any sort of pen work, and that just doesn't happen. It just, because of it's a wax. I say that loosely. I'm not positive. That's what I assume it is, because I can never come back over and do anything with it once it's colored. And then I'm just going to add water to this to blend in those. Those Gelatos. Actually, I'll come in here and add some of that turquoise in here. Let's see. There. Yay, no white spaces. I know. I love color. Love, love, love it. Just gonna take some of that excess off to get it from drying. And there you have like this really fun little whimsical tag. And I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and let's look at our journaling page. See if that will dry. The journaling page is still very wet too, but I'm okay with that. So what I think I'm going to do is let that tag dry for a little bit, and just kind of like, since I am going to be using this kind of as a journaling, I'm going to do all my journaling on the watercolor page. I'm not going to touch this half because I'm not real sure, but I think I'm going to come in here and just do like either like a title area. And what I mean by title area is just adding a little area in here, and I sometimes like to put like a tag or a label, and that way that will be the area for my date and the date I'm journaling about. I love using tissue paper on these pages. One, it's just so, I like the way it feels. And I also just really enjoy how it looks very transparent after you use it, and you can put things underneath it, and you can layer it up, those kind of things. And I'm just kind of making this where it will kind of go, it will match along with the tag once I put the tag in place. Thought I felt some sticky there. I have these little Bella Boulevard spectacular tabs, and I went on to Illustrated Faith website today, and I realized, oh, that's cute, I like those too. I realized this is a brand of Illustrated Faith. I did not know that. So these are actually very sturdy little clips. I thought they were just little pieces of paper, but they're very, very sturdy. They're like a glossy cardstock. Okay. This tag is still a little wet, but I think I'm okay with that. I love the way it kind of matches along here. So what I was thinking was kind of doing using this on here. Let's get her on here, shall we? And then we can play around with those little tabs because those are cute. Okay, so I'm going to add her. I'm going to put glue completely on the back of her. The tag is still a little wet, but I think it'll be okay. Ew, what was that on my glue stick? Like a little fuzz. We're just going to put her right directly on here. You know what else would be cute to do, which I may do that after I get off camera, because it's going to take a while for it to dry for sure, is some glitter. It's like some glitter glue. Usually when I work with glitter glue, oops, I basically will put it on the night before. I mean, after I journal, I'll just put it on, and then I come in here and I let it dry overnight, because glitter glue sometimes will do that. Okay, we got to put a pumpkin face on. So I was looking for my marker. Oh, here's one. You can just draw some little triangle eyes. I was putting like a little mouth instead of a regular one. Kind of like he's going, oh, boo, or something. And then I'm just going to come in here because this marker is not working very well. I'm just going to come in here and get another marker. But I'm just going to do some little sketching using my marker. Some lines here and there, just to add some features to it. And then I may come over with her hair a little bit. And her outfit, just to kind of do some definitions. Makes it look a little sketchy. There we go. Okay. This may be not really a fun. Where's that other one that I had? Oh, here we go. It may be too cutesy with the artsy look. Oh, that's too big. Okay, maybe not this time. And then I want to come in here and just add a few hearts. I don't know if you can see them or not. I'll bring the tag up. There, you can kind of see them. There she is. She looks so cute holding a little pumpkin. Okay, let's go ahead and add her in. And I was going to put some, oh, here we go. Perfect. I love it when I find it. I knew it was up here. It was just hidden with all this junk. And I don't have my Tim Holtz stapler because it's in the kitchen at the table with my other journaling stuff. So I know I saw it's in my little carry-on. But I think we can still get this figured out. What I was going to do is just staple it on there. Did I mess the camera up? Yeah, it's still good? Okay. But I think I'm going to run it through like this. And then if I want to add more, definitely could do that. See how this looks. It may look weird, but let's try it out. Maybe too weird because it has the different layers. Maybe not. I'm gonna cut this little. What I like about using these little ribbons or adding, I love that look, how it adds to the journaling page as it sticks out, you know. But it may be too much. I think it's like I put it on backwards or something. Let's just take that one off. I think if I had it the other way around, I may switch it back. But for time-wise purposes, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap this up. Let's see here. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to add some hearts. Oops. To this page. So let me see if I had some more little turquoisey, like some blue. I've got this blue. It's not summer sky. It's nothing what this print looks like, but let's see. I think I've used this before and it's not very dark. Oh, it looks okay. I was afraid it wasn't going to show up at all. Add one more for good measure. There. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let me get some of the stuff cleared up. And then, you know what I just noticed is that I don't want her little sleeve to be covered with washi unless I use like some clear washi tape. Let's see what I have. I have this. I have this Spider-Man. I mean, this Spider-Man. Good grief. This spider one, but I think it's too white. It's too white on that. Unless I added. It just doesn't go with her. Okay, let's see what I have right here. Available at my fingertips. This is a good one that you could add. I need to put some more washi over here. You wouldn't believe, I got the rings from the Reset Girl, and literally I filled up 3 of them. It was ridiculous. You know what I want is my black and white. You know, I have the sample here. I did want to tell y'all, I know in my last video, I showed you these, you know, oh look, you can take this with you. This drives me crazy, to be perfectly honest with you. Especially, unless you're doing like just a little bit of paper, this just drives me crazy. I know, it sounds crazy. It drives me crazy, it sounds crazy. But, no, it just, I don't know why this does. I would much rather, not typically, now I guess if you're on the go, or if you're going real quick and you want, which is kind of the meaning behind having them with the die cuts, because you can create on the go. But this is how I like to have, I like to organize them by themes and then take them on a small ring, because I can even more or less work with them directly on the ring. This to me is bothersome. It just seems like it's unless you're just doing like a tiny little strip, but if you're doing any kind of length, it just doesn't work for me. So what I'm going to do is kind of start down here, and I'm going to see if I can lift her little dress up and put the washi underneath her, because I don't really want to cover her up, but I may have to, because I just try to lift the bottom of her. Let's see how it looks on top. See, I feel like it covers her up. I don't like that. Let's see if I can kind of pull. Oh, there it goes. Just going to lift her dress up a little bit like that. And slide this underneath. And then we'll glue that dress back down. So I'm going to add this as a little tip in. See, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, I'm sorry to just keep complaining about this. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying what works for me. It just doesn't work in big projects. Let me just put it that way. I guess I just didn't want, I always like to kind of say what I like, and I know in my last video I was like, oh, and everything's at your fingertips right here, and true, but it drives me crazy. Okay. Let's work with what we have going on up here. I need to cut some of that off. There, now it opens up perfectly. And then I may come in here when I'm ready to start journaling on this page. I'm thinking more likely when I see these little tip-ins like this, I like to add a picture. Sorry, I was just thinking that I was probably working off the page. I hope I wasn't. Most of this over here. And y'all didn't see what I was doing, did y'all? Hope I didn't. But that is it. There's a little cute journaling page. All set up, ready to have some writing to be taking place. Alright, well thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.